Welcome to our Clarity Focus session for today. We've been running these sessions, we're essentially going Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. PST is the time frame for these sessions. Today's session, I'm going to be talking about two of the most important things that are absolutely primary in your business, especially if you're running an agency or a marketing business. These two things, in fact, any business that is a service-based business, these two critical things are absolutely paramount, and it's the area that we tend to focus the least on. So I want to be talking about or covering, Felix, good to see you here as well. We have had a time change, Dano, absolutely. James, good to see you here, my friend. Today, I just cover, to me, this is kind of critical, because the question I ask a lot of, I ask people over the last 30 days, and the question that I go into asking them is two questions. One, how many appointments did you make for people who you've generated that you were talking to or looking to have you engage for your marketing services? And the second thing is, how many actual sales presentations did you do over a 30-day period? Now, on average, when I ask this question, and I've literally asked this question to thousands of people. I've surveyed lots of people on websites asking these two questions. How many appointments did you generate on average per week over the last 30 days? How many appointments do you have? And how many presentations? Now, appointments and presentations or pitches are two different things. Your appointment to talk to somebody about what you do, to maybe get them to a discovery session, maybe get them through to a process to engage you, is very different from an actual sales presentation where you're going to make a pitch for a price and offer your services to the market. And right now, for every business, on average, these are roughly the numbers that I tend to get people saying to me. Either zero, right, no appointments, or up to on average, 2 appointments a week. So from 0 to about 2 appointments per week. So roughly anywhere between 4 and 8 appointments per month. And then I ask them how many sales presentations that they do to actually close an actual deal. And so most of them will say 1 or none. They'll have closed no deals in a 30-day period, or they've done 1 or 2 presentations in that 30-day period. And they may have closed 1 deal, but most likely they haven't. So in business, to go 30 days without generating any income, to me, tells me that you're actually not really in business. You're not really doing business. So I wanted to talk about those two things, that concept of, I'm going to share my screen just a second. In fact, you can see my screen now. I want to talk about these two things. Two most important things is for you in the market is 1, appointments, and 2, presentations. These are the two most important things. Now, here's the thing. This is the 80-20 rule, right? 80% sales and marketing and 20% fulfillment. That's the ratio, right? 80% sales and marketing, 20% fulfillment, right? So the question we have to ask ourselves is, well, if appointments and presentation and appointment, what are we wasting our time on, right? Where are we squandering our opportunities? And this is where most people waste their time. They waste their time in fulfillment, or they are tinkering on stuff, or they are consuming and not acting. Majority of people are not acting, right? Or if they are acting, they're doing this. They're tinkering on stuff. Tinkering and acting, two different things, right? So we have to sit there and think about, well, what do we want to do, right? If we want to grow our business, we have to generate appointments. So how do we go around getting apps, right? How do we get apps? We'll call them apps for appointments, right? How do we get apps for our business, right? So what are we going to do? First of all, our familiar list is prime. That's an easy list to go to, right? Number 2, referrals. Okay. Number 3, our list, our general list or prospect list, right? That's where we're going to get a list. Number 4, we can run ads to our list. So we can either do Facebook ads or we could do Google ads, right? We can run traffic to an appointment or to an opportunity of what we do, right? We can do 5, we can do email, right? Or, you know, cold or warm emails, right? Not cold email list. You've got a list. You can generate offers to a warm list. So these are 5 things that we can do to go and generate appointment opportunities, right? So if we're going to generate an appointment opportunity, what is our offer? Right? What is our offer that we're putting out in the marketplace, right? What is our offer? Are we offering are we offering to solve a problem? Are we saving money? Are we make money? Are we saving time? Right? What are we doing for our clients, right? To go to the market, to put an offer in the market, what are we doing, right? Remember that our primary objective is for us to make appointments, to open up a conversation, right? So we want the conversation. Now, if you've got nothing else to do, this sort of stuff here, this list here of the things you can do is, you know, you want to keep it simple, right? So you want to, so if we look at a triangle, right? Up here, it's the who. Here it's the what is our offer, right? And here it's the how. Offer, solution. Pretty simple process. So my question is, what problem can you solve? Who are you going to solve it for, right? I know these are some rudimentary questions that I'm asking, but a lot of people just don't go out there and engage the market. What they're doing is they tend to, week in, week out, it will go by, right? If we're talking about generating appointments, right, I can actually get somebody else to make appointments for me, right? I can go, you know, for example, if I didn't want to make the appointments, right, I would create a situation where I'm going to create a leads list, right, and then I'm going to go to an SDR, a sales development representative, or let's just call it what they are. Sales development rep, right? And I'm going to get this person to call that list to make apps in my calendar. Right? Make appointments in my calendar, right? Generally, they will work for that. You can do them commission only. And you could probably pay them about $50 per appointment, right? Now that's per showed up appointment. So if I can't go and generate the leads, if I can't fill my appointments, I can hire a contractor to do this. But this contractor still has the same problem that you have, right? What's your offer? Right, that they're following up. Right, to make an app. what's the offer, right? So this is the thing right now, number one priority, if you don't have enough appointments, that's all you got to focus on. You just have to focus on making appointments. To make an appointment, you've got to make an offer. You've got to say, hey, would you like, are you interested in doing this? Are you interested in having a look at this? And you're not doing offers in one modality. What most people do is when you want to put an offer into the marketplace, putting out one offer isn't going to make a difference to your appointment calendar. Pulling out several offers, right, or tactically targeting several areas. What you want to do is you want to think of your offer, right, and you want to think about the messages that you're sending out to the person, right? So we've got email, we've got Facebook, we've got we've got Twitter, we have LinkedIn, right? We have text, we have messenger bots, right? If you want to really grab somebody's attention, you want to grab their attention in modalities. You could do retargeting, right? If you want to grab people's attention, you've got to grab their attention in multiple modalities, right? If you're going to do email and just rely on email, if we're going to do email and rely on email, if we're going to do, let me just do this. If we're going to do email and we're just going to rely on this one channel, right? One email isn't going to cut it. Most people give up after one email. Most people give up after one email, right? What you need is you need a sequence. Sometimes it might take between 5 and 13 emails, right? I have a system where we do at least a minimum of 4 emails. And the way the 4 emails work is, 1 is the offer. 2 is I did not hear back from you. Right? And number 3 is love to know what you thought about my offer. And the last one, which is my favorite email, are you interested in this result? Right? Those are the four basic emails. To make an offer, second email, I didn't hear back from you. Most people will read, if you sit there and say, Paul, I didn't hear back from you. Don, I didn't hear back from you. And you see that in your inbox, you're going to click on that email, right? You're going to have a look. Some people go, oh, sorry, I didn't get back to you, right? The third email, love to know what you thought about it. I'm wondering if this is relevant. Want to know what you think about this idea. I want to touch base with you just to get some feedback, right? So, okay, if I'm asking you for feedback, you might even do subject line, Don, need your feedback. Subject line, Don, need your feedback, right? Are you interested? Are you interested? Hey, Peter, are you interested? People are going to click on those subject lines, right? The minimum I would send would 4, but I'm trying to build a relationship with people. And that's why most people make the mistake. When you send 1, right, and there's no response, right, we get no response, right? We get no response, we give up. And yet we've built these leads lists for ourselves to maximize our opportunity to generate sales. And we haven't been able to do that. So what that means is we need to refine our message, right? So if I'm just relying on one core channel of email, then I've got to make sure I've got a cadence of regular communication. Some people are chit-chatting here. Made it, yes. So John B, how do we transition the prospect from appointment to presentation? I'm going to walk you through exactly that in just a moment, John. Rashida, is this the same as an appointment setter for $50 to show up appointment? Yes, an appointment setter you would pay on average about $50 commission only, right, per appointment. But you only pay for the appointment to show up. You only pay for the show up, right? So if the person hasn't had the demo or intro call, how are you asking? So these are on emails, Rashida. You've got an email sending out, so you're asking for that feedback on the emails. James, if it's a cold email, is it right to make an offer on the first email? Well, not a money offer. If you know the person, absolutely. If you know the person, you would make a money offer on the first email. If you don't know the person, I would not make a money offer unless I knew that this was something that was very relevant. And if I was doing a super deal, I'd say, hey, don't miss out on super deal. Here's a money offer. So for every example, there's going to be some exceptions and there's going to be some differences. But ultimately, I can ask for a money offer. I'm better off asking for a money offer to a list that is engaged and that I know. If it's not a list that's engaged and that I don't know, then the money offer is going to fall on deaf ears, unless it's an incredible offer. So for example, I don't know if you've been seeing this offer on Facebook. I caught it the other day, but Geru, which is this funnel mapping software, Geru charge, I think it's like $67, and they're giving you lifetime access to the software. But it's really cool because it maps out ROI, and if you run ads, you can actually see what happens with conversions. So it's a cool little app, right? So they made a direct offer, one-time deal, lifetime offer, $67, right? They would have sent that offer out to a bucket load of people on the email list. And then they would have sent that offer to a bunch of affiliates, and then they would have sent that offer all over Facebook. They're running those ads over Facebook at the moment. And they've got a few upsells and downsells and all that sort of stuff to buy into the software. But that's a very relevant offer. If I was in an agency world, I bought that offer. In fact, I had a whole bunch of people I know that bought that offer from Geru right now, right? But to go direct offer to a cold list, and again, it's all about the relevance of the offer that you're making. If you, James, it's spelled Geru, G-E-R-U, Geru.com, right? Geru.com, okay? So if you're looking for a direct offer to buy, you really need to have engagement. You're going to get a much better result with people who are engaged than if you go to cold to market. Cold to market, what you want to do is you want action points. Remember, these emails that you're sending out, if you're using cold email, for me, I have 23 different strategies that we use to go and generate leads. 23, not one, 23. And cold email is the least strategy. It's the least strategy that I use. We use it, but it's not the one that we get the most results from. It's the least, right? Rashida, there's this thing called Indeed.com, and they give you some free advertising, and we just put in booking appointment center or a sales development representative, and we hire through Indeed. It's pretty easy, right? It's pretty easy. So we run ads on there all the time. You can find appointment setters. And by the way, there's a lot of appointment setters out there. They're very professional. They will work commission only, and they're really good at what they do. The thing with an SDR, I will give you one caveat with an SDR. Don't expect an SDR to come to you with a script. You have to know your stuff. You have to have a proven script that you give to the SDR, right? You can't expect them to write the script because they don't know your business. So you have to give them the training, the support, the script. You have to adjust. You have to demonstrate. You have to hop on the phone and do what you're asking them to do so that they hear and see and record those calls, right? And then you want to record their calls. So if you're going to hire an SDR, you want to give them a script. Don't hire an SDR without a script. Don't expect an SDR to come and just rainmake for you. That's not going to happen. So Indeed.com, Monster.com, most of the job boards around the world are places where I get people who are looking for SDR positions. And right now we've got a few of our people that are doing really well with SDRs, right? But remember, the name of the game is we've got to get appointments. So my question to you is, how are you getting appointments? And if it's not working, what can we do to step that up? Can you scroll up a bit so I can see the emails? You want me to scroll up a little bit so you can see the emails? Where are the emails? Sorry, we're going back down here. The 4 emails, yeah. 1 is the offer, 2 is the I didn't hear back from you, 3 is I'd love to know what you thought about the idea or my offer, 4 is are you interested in this result? That's the 4 emails, right? That's the 4 emails that you use, okay? So if you're gonna go down the SDR route, Rashida, you're gonna have to give them the script. You're gonna work with them. Sales Navigator, yes, Sales Navigator is really cool. Using any leads, that gives you leads, but then you've got to turn those leads into appointments. So how do you go about doing that? You're either going to email them or you're going to get somebody to call them. You're going to invite them to something. You can invite them to a webinar. You can invite them to take advantage of an idea or something you got to offer. Think about how you map this out, right, for your prospective customers in the marketplace. So I'm just going to put that over here for a second. We've got a whole bunch of people on here. Chris, good to see you here. Felix, George, James, John, Mark, Rashida, Trevor, good to have you here. We have a few Chris's. We've got 3 Chris's here. Brian, always good to see you here. Dano, awesome to have you here. Just want to make sure that we're here. So what I want to do, just to kind of help you out here, why don't we map out an appointment setting process for someone here, right? Now, you must have a list. You cannot, I cannot do this for you without a list because I need to know who we're going to be targeting and who we're going to go after. So if we're going to help somebody here with this structure and with this process, and we're going to map this out, right? Then I need to know that you have a list. So the person who is one, so what we're trying to do is we're going to go to a structure to go from cold to set an appointment, right? Once we set an appointment, I'll answer John's question about how do we go from an appointment to a strategy session. So we will go that one step further. So I'm just going to, Dano's got a list. James got in before you, Dano. I'm going to do this with James. So James, I'm going to unmute you in the panel. I'm just going to find where you are up here. Can you hear me, James?
Can you hear me?
Got you loud and clear. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna do this together. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna map this out to an appointment, right?
Yep.
We're gonna.
Yep.
In fact, I'm gonna go to a clear page here. I'm gonna put James on here. Okay. So before we get into mapping out to generate an appointment, right? I want to just understand what is the service that you're offering.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing the LinkedIn marketing for I'm drawing a blank for Globotel. Sorry.
Okay, so using Globotel as your resource partner.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a service. Yep. Who are you targeting?
Yep. Plumbers. Sorry, roofers.
Why are you doing LinkedIn strategy for roofers?
To get them client. Actually, it's the other way around. To get me clients. Sorry. The other way around.
Oh, you want to get clients. So that's what we're talking about, right? So you want roofers. Yeah. So have you done a search for roofers on LinkedIn?
I haven't, but I have a list of 500 that I built, but I'm going to use that service as well.
Okay. All right. So we want roofers. You're using LinkedIn. You've got a list of 500 people, right? Have you emailed the list? Have you emailed the list? What have you done with the list of 500?
I just got them.
You just got them. Okay, so it's a new list.
Yes.
How qualified is this list? How big are the businesses on the list? Are they just randoms?
No, what I did is I went to Facebook and I did it manually. And there's an option if you go to transparency, you can see whether they're doing ads or not. So I targeted the people that are doing ads.
Okay, so Facebook running ads. Okay, so what are we selling them?
The LinkedIn service.
Why do you think LinkedIn is an opportunity for roofers to get roofing deals?
Actually, you know what?
Because LinkedIn is such a huge market. It's so many different people. So how are you going to zero in to an offer for an appointment for an estimate on a roofing job on LinkedIn? I'm asking the question because it's not a place that I would go, but I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying.
Okay, no, we can switch it up. Let's switch it up. Let's go with Facebook. That's the proper.
No. I want to understand, because if you're going to go down this path, the reason why in our strategy here to generate appointment, James, we're going to craft an offer. That offer has to be crafted to some form of outreach to the market, right? But my problem is, or my question is, LinkedIn for roofing jobs for roofers, right? Most roofers, they just want to buy leads. They want to get leads from aggregators. They want to get leads from Facebook, AdWords. They just want leads. What they do want is somebody who needs an estimate for a job that they need to get done. There are two
Yes.
types of roofers, James. One roofer is an emergency roofer who does storm roofing. Those guys, they are basically price pillagers. They are lowball, horrible service providers, and they're what they call storm chasers, right? So the storm chasing roofing market is not a market that I would highly recommend anybody go into, because they don't really care. They're in to make money very quickly. They want to make the cheapest lead acquisition or cost acquisition as possible, and they will just literally pillage a marketplace. So that is not the type of roofer that I would be targeting to work with. The second type of roofer is actually a professional roofing business that operates to service, repair, and actually renew roofs in homes. They're either going to put a new roof on, they're going to repair a roof, or they're going to replace a roof. There's new, replace, repair. Not new as in new home, right? New home roof. So there's those three markets, right? Those people are going to be in business for a long time. They are obviously actively trying to engage customers in the market to invest in their services. And you know, the conversion is the game, and they need to trawl a lot of leads. So my question to you, I don't know. You're telling me in your methodology, how do you see them getting appointments from LinkedIn for roofing jobs? What's your targeting methodology?
Actually, the reason I wanted to use LinkedIn is to get me to them, and then make the offer. And the offer would more than likely be Facebook. I mean, everybody goes to Facebook for that.
Okay, so that's a completely different offer than LinkedIn. There's no way I'd be doing LinkedIn lead gen for roofers. I've not heard anybody successfully get leads for roofers on LinkedIn, right? But that's not to say that doesn't happen. I could be wrong, and that could be exception to the rule. The reason I'm asking the question is if you figured out a way how to do that, then that's great, because that's different to Facebook, and you can go to the market and say, hey, I've got a proven system that gets roofing leads directly from LinkedIn. Forget about Facebook. Let's make direct appointments, right? That would be a very powerful strategy, but you have not got a strategy like that, and you've not tested it, and you don't know if it will or wouldn't work, right? And to me, I'm not familiar, so I don't know how broad that market is. So essentially, we want to appoint the roofer. So my question to you, in your extensive conversations with roofers, in the hours and hours of you spend talking to roofing companies, what have they told you are their biggest bugbears when it comes to getting inquiries? How many roofing companies have you spoken to, James?
Not many. I just got into it, so not many at all.
How many is not many?
10.
You physically had a conversation with 10 roofers?
I have.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so what do they tell you? What do they tell you they absolutely must and need and want?
Obviously, they want more business, but what I've heard from 4 or 5 of them is that they want reoccurring income now. So they have these monthly services where they come out, they do an audit, and they make sure that everything's okay and so forth. That's as much as I know from them. Yeah, it's a maintenance program. Yeah.
And how much do they charge for a maintenance program?
I'm not sure at this point, so I got to get more into it. This is brand. I know.
Go find out on Google for you. Can you do me a favor, James? Go and find out on Google right now and search how much roofers charge for maintenance services. Just Google it for me, right?
Yep.
Help me help you. Help me help you, right?
Jerry.
Right. So somebody give me a figure of what is a roughly month maintenance contract on a roof. Is it $200-300 a month? $100 a month? You know.
Yeah. Hold on.
$500 a quarter. $1,000 a year.
Hold on. I got per day, 75 per day, but that's not what it is. Hold on.
No. Roofing maintenance contracts. Pricing. How much?
I'm looking. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, here. Making a case.
My guess would be like $1,000 a year. $50 a month.
Let's just roll with that. That's fine.
No. You're telling me you're the roofing expert here, mate.
Not yet.
Yeah. All right. But you want to be, okay? So this is the thing. For those of you listening, this is where we fall short, and this is where we're going to come unstuck. If we don't know our stuff, or we don't know our market, and we're flailing around trying to figure things out, then what we're doing is we're going to play the duck game. So you've already asked some questions, and now you're realizing that you need to actually ask more questions to get deep into this. So 4 of them said it'd be really cool if we can get onto some recurring revenue. So that's an offer. Do you want to sell more monthly maintenance contracts so you've got recurring income in your roofing business? Are you interested in developing monthly maintenance contracts for your roofing business so you've got some recurring revenue
I
and
like
you're
that
not
a lot.
relying just on static sales?
I
Right?
love that.
But hang on, we don't know if that's going to work, James. I know you like that, but they might hate it, right? You need to understand that we need to test this idea, right? We need to test it, right? So understand that I've given you a campaign or I've given you an idea here, but we don't know if the market's validating. You've had 4 people say, it'd be really cool if we could do this. Well, great. What would you charge for something like that? Now, if 4 people don't know what they're charging, then the service doesn't exist, right? Right, the idea, the actual packaging of the product doesn't exist. So there's 2 people they can sell this deal to. They can sell it to existing roofs, or they can attach it to a new roof. So my question is maintenance service contract, right? Let's call it a maintenance service contract, an MCS, right? Let's say it might be, 1,000 to 2,000 per annum. Right, I might be excessive on that price point, but let's say it's $1,000 to $2,000 per annum, right, as the price point, right? Okay. So my question would be, I want to understand, right? Well, this is recurring revenue. If you built 100 roofs, right, per annum, and let's say 20 of your customers, buy the maintenance packs, the MCS, right? The MCS, the maintenance service pack, whatever that is, right? 20 of them buy, right? So you can make between 20K to 40K out of 20 customers, right?
Yep.
If you're selling to existing customers. My question is, would they sell to people they don't have as existing customers? Is this an upsell? So is this an upsell? I'd say it would be, right? Or is this a static product? Right? You need to find out what that is. I think for me, it will be an upsell with an existing roof. We built it, let's look after it, let's tack on an extra $1,000, right?
Yeah.
Or tack on an extra $2,000, right? Maybe that gives you more warranty, more protection, whatever the package is, right? So if they want a recurring revenue, what are the things that can they do recurring revenue on? It could be a package. It could be cleaning your gutters. It could be retouching your roof or respraying your roof. It could be patchwork. It could be plugging holes, right? It could be an assessment. What does that look like? So what I would do to the market, or my offer would be, hey, right now, I know you're generating static revenue from selling roofing deals, but what if we could actually build a recurring roofing maintenance package program into your business so that you're actually getting income or regular income on a regular basis from every roof that you build, and more importantly, from perhaps roofs or people who need to have their buildings maintained as opposed to having to replace, right? That's your offer. Are you interested in looking or exploring? So my question is, or it's not a question, but that's your offer, right? My thing would be, or my idea would be for you, James, is what does that actually look like for them? And you've got to work the numbers. So you need to map it out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of a nurturing or retargeting program for that, for the upsell?
For who? For you or for them?
Oh, for them. No. Yeah, absolutely. For them.
Retargeting program only if they don't buy. Not for this, not for maintenance. I wouldn't do retargeting for maintenance, but I would do retargeting for those people who didn't buy. All the no-shows, I would do a retargeting campaign. All the people who visit the website who didn't inquire, I would do a retargeting campaign. My answer would be yes. But what we're talking about here is the offer. So right now your offer is, hey, I've been talking to a lot of roofing companies, and one of the big things that's coming up right now is that you're interested in recurring revenue. I spoke to 4 or 5 companies just recently who say that they'll be interested in a model to generate recurring revenue from the roofing jobs that they got out there. I'd love to share with you 3 or 4 different ways in which you can package that up, and more importantly, show you how you can actually get clients to pay or invest in those packages, whether they have bought from you or whether they are interested in looking at you helping with their roofs. Can we get on a call? There's your offer. I would go and offer that to a number of people, and then you want to think about how to sell that process, right?
Okay. So
There's it's a simple offer.
Yeah, this could obviously be a Facebook offer as well.
No.
Oh, so you're saying that only for the people that they work with, it's an upsell?
Yeah, people that work with or people that they're currently selling to, right?
And when I was saying retargeting, I'm sure they have a big private email list that they built over the years that you can target as well.
Maybe. Most of them don't. Most roofing companies don't collect leads; they burn them. So to say that that's what they do, I'm assuming something that I know it isn't true. Most of them burn their leads; they don't keep their leads. Most of them don't even. Most of them toss them out and just delete their leads. That's how crazy they are, right?
Wow.
So no, yeah, they don't. So again, talk to the market. How many leads you got in your leads list right now? 100, 200, 300. How many past quotes have you done in the last 6 months? 100, 200, 300. Great. Well, let's start with that small list, right?
Yeah.
Most of them don't. It is becoming important now to capture leads. So yes, a lead capture system for roofing companies, absolutely. So that you nurture sales for the future. Sales automation for roofing companies, absolutely. Right now, the best thing you can sell to roofing companies is pay-per-lead. Pay-per-lead is the best thing you can sell to roofing companies. I know a roofing company right now that is paying $75,000 a month for leads, pay per lead. And the company that is delivering those leads to those roofers, to that roofing company, is making about $35,000 net profit every month out of those leads. $35,000 net profit every month out of those leads. One client, pay per lead. So they're paying 75 grand a month for leads in pay-per-lead model. So that just gives you an idea of what's possible. So that's an offer. If you're doing pay-per-lead, you can say, listen, I can bring you a 100 lead bundle. Roughly this is what's going to cost you, 5 to 6 grand. These are guaranteed leads, guaranteed appointments. Are you interested? No contract, way to go. I'll guarantee you that every roofer on the planet would say yes to that deal.
I like it.
But you now have you have to have a system now that actually generates those leads and books an appointment for that roofer.
Right.
Yeah, that's the easiest sales. That is the easiest agency model on the planet. It's the one that most people screw up, but it's the one that is the easiest model because it's pay for results. You get paid for a result.
So why do most people screw that up?
They screw it up because they don't know what they're doing when it comes to advertising, and they screw it up because they don't know how to SEO or optimize for owning the properties, and they're actually targeting the wrong types of leads. Okay. The way to make pay-per-lead work really well is to really super niche. If you super niche, the leads are so much more valuable, the cost is lower, and the profit is much higher. But that's a whole other business model. But okay. if that was an offer that you could offer, that would be an easy offer. I would get on a call, say, listen, I'm generating 100, 200 leads every single month. Do you want them? Do you want to buy the leads off me? Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's easy, right? Great. I'll give you a 100 lead bundle. We're going to start setting appointments for you the next few days. You're going to pay me what, $5,000 to $10,000 for 100 leads, right? $100 a lead. My cost on that's probably going to be about 25 to 30 bucks. My profit on that's going to be $70.
So John, if you're setting up the appointments, you're getting the money in front, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not getting the money in front. They still have to sell the deal. They're paying me up front for the leads.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't pay. They pay me first, then I deliver the leads.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Okay, we've got a few questions here in the chit chats. So what do we got here? We've got Brian. Below are both the annual and monthly subscription prices. Isn't it interesting? $5.50 a month annually. Okay, 50 bucks. Thanks, Brian. You did all the research here. Well done. $1,300 for annual payment up front, or $120 discount applies. Interesting. $2,200 annual payment up front. So a $2,000 product, Brian, is a very attractive product for the market. If they're doing $2,000, most companies will pay between 60 and 100 bucks for a $2,000 sale. $60 to $100 for a $2,000 sale. So profit-wise, it can be really, really profitable. From a recurring revenue-wise, that can be profitable too. But the offer would be is, hey, if I had a model that generated this outcome for you, and we can market that outcome for you, then are you interested in plugging that revenue stream in your roofing business? That's really not a hard offer to make. That's not a hard offer to make. Rashida says, you deliver the leads as a booked appointment through High Level or just basic CVS? It would be through any software, Rashida. It would be through Calendly. It would be through High Level. I would set up High Level as my back-end support, and then I would filter the lead using something like High Level. Yes. Would you recommend pay-per-lead for gutter cleaning? No. Gutter cleaning businesses, the cost of gutter cleaning is too low. So for me, if you're going to do PPL or pay-per-lead, I would do pay-per-lead at a much higher level. So what I mean by pay-per-lead at a higher level, the minimum sale is $2,000. Whatever product they're selling or service is selling, $2,000 is the sale that I would make, right? $2,000 is the sale that I would make. Yeah. Yeah. Questions? I'm going to answer your question in a moment. How do we go from appointment to strategy session? That is a very easy transition. Chris says most NZ roofers use AdWords for leads. Yep, they do, because AdWords is way more powerful than Facebook for leads for ads. A little bit more expensive though, but if you've got the right strategy, it's a game changer for most roofers. It's a game changer for most roofers. Yeah, you've got the right strategy. So looking at this, getting back to our idea, appointments to presentation. Brian asked, how do we go from appointment to a presentation? So when you're having this conversation, or what you're doing is you want to see if this is market fit. You want to sit there and say, look, at the end of the day, this is the problem we solve. What we do is we target a respective customer, and we drive that customer who's really interested in your offer to come and inquire about your services. With our strategy, with our systems, we know we could probably generate between 30 and 100 of these every single month. My question to you is, do you want to have those inquiries directly filtered to your business? Yes or no? Now, if they're going to go yes, so great. Well, let me ask you a few questions, just so we want to get really clear about the outcomes you're looking for, right? So if I would give you 10 leads, how many leads of those 10 would you close into a deal? They might say 1 in 10 or 2 in 10. So if you're looking for, let's say, roofing jobs right now, roughly how many roofing jobs extra do you want to book in right now? Now, they might say, well, we would like to do another 5 jobs per month or another 10 jobs per month. Well, if there's another 10 jobs per month, we've got to get you between 50 and 100 leads, right? 50 and 100 opportunities, that's roughly 10 to 20 opportunities every single week, roughly 4 to 5 opportunities every single day, right, is what we're aiming for. So if we were to develop a plan to work towards that particular outcome, then at the end of that, if you find that this sits well with you in relation to your objective of generating 10 new sales or 20 new sales a month, then can we sit down, devise a plan on how we can achieve that outcome, and more importantly, make sure that there is a measurable ROI on your investment to get that happening. Are you interested? Yes or no? And they go yes. So let me be very clear. Your objective is to generate between 10 and 20 clients. Great. To do that, we've got to bring in at least 2 to 4 jobs per week. To do that, we've got to have between 20 and 40 leads a week, roughly up to 200 leads a month, right? So your investment in 200 leads based on ad cost, you would know, or you would learn very quickly, that they're probably going to be spending about $2,000 to $2,500 or more on those leads. Probably about $3,000 would be a safety net. $3,000 would be the least that I would do that for, $3,000 to $4,000. In Facebook. And again, it depends on the location. Busier location, more competition location, it's going to cost more, right? But remember, closing an extra 10 deals, that's an extra $30,000 to $40,000 net profit to that business, right? 10 deals, $160,000 in sales, right? Plus whatever else that they add to those markets, yeah? So understand that if I know these ideas, Brian, then it's very easy to say, right, well, the next step is let's put this plan into action. Let me walk you through what has to happen to do this. And at the end of that, I'm going to show you how we get an ROI. And if you like that, then I can show you how we work together. Are you cool with that? And that's how you transition from a triage to a presentation for a deal. That's how I would do it, if that makes any sense. Rashida says, what is my thoughts on using sales closers in the beginning if we aren't a pro with closing? The sales closer would have to know your process. So if you're opening up, so a sales closer is going to be the person who actually does the entire presentation. So my idea is, Rashida, yes, I would hire a sales closer, but the sales closer has to understand your product, your service, your market, and has to understand your process. A sales closer is not going to come to you with a process and say, I've got a process and let me close some deals. Otherwise, they would be doing you and working for themselves. What you need to do is you need to show them how to close a deal. You need to show them how to map out the process. You need to show them a script, and you need to show them that out of every 100 leads that you get 30 appointments, and from 30 appointments you get 15 presentations, and from 15 presentations you close 3 to 5 deals. That is what you need to show a closer for your business, for you to successfully generate sales through a salesperson. That's where you need to get to, Rashida, to make that work. Right? You can't, if you're going to go and hire somebody, expect them to be the sales guy without having all those pieces in place, you will fail. They will fail you. They will leave. No one's going to make any money. It's actually going to end up costing you some money. So if you want to do this right, then you want to actually make sure that you've got the numbers right. Then you go and hire a salesperson. We did not hire salespeople until we got those numbers right ourselves. I never hire a salesperson until I know what my numbers are. When I know what my numbers are, then I can actually take my recordings, take my systems, take my structures, give them to a salesperson, and then I can leverage that training. And so they can learn that process, because I know if we follow these rules or we follow these outcomes and these processes, we're going to get this outcome. Salespeople to hire salespeople, I would rather hire an appointment setter for me rather than hiring a salesperson. If you say you're not good in sales, then you need to learn how to get great in sales. Saying that you're not good in sales, then that means you're going to say, I'm not good in sales, right? That means you're not going to be good in sales, but you have to become good in sales. You should be able to sell your product or service, Rashida, better than anybody else in your company. You are the #1 salesperson first. If I go to any CEO of any company, they will sell me on their product or service better than any salesperson in their company ever could, because they own the product and the service and the company. They know why it's important for a customer to invest in their services. So that's what you need to do for yourself. Yeah. So my thoughts are, yeah, hiring a pro for closing, absolutely. Right. Hiring a pro for closing, absolutely. Mark, how would you find out who's running ads on Facebook like James mentioned? It's really easy, because all you got to do is go and you can literally target companies on Facebook, and you can actually you can see ads that are running. If you're looking at companies or businesses, you can see the ads in their portal. You can also there's a few things like Ad Espresso, or there's those sorts of things will actually show you who are running in ads. And if you're in the ads manager of Facebook, you can also see who's running ads as well in those forums. So it's not hard to find them. Yeah. Felix, yeah, the Facebook ads library, absolutely. So you can see the types of businesses that are running ads. Facebook.com/ads library /ads/library. Yes. So remember, what's your offer? Then you want to make that offer and say, hey, are you interested? You want to ask them, are you interested in this offer? Right? If they are, let's get on the phone and have a quick chat about this offer. Right? You need to build a relationship with people. You need to go into a situation where you're building a cadence of communication like this. Right? How are you touching base in multiple modalities to zero into that relationship? One of the things I'd highly recommend, and it's something that I'm actually in the middle of teaching my champions and also some of the people in my programs, is the concept of account-based management. Now, account-based management means you zero in to target on exactly who you want to do business with, and then go and approach that market in a more direct way, one that is relevant, one that is useful. That way you can pick and choose who you do business with. You can also pick and choose the companies that spend more money. You can pick and choose all the companies that are more likely to gain benefit of what you do, and you don't need thousands of leads. In an account-based management system, you only really need about 200 leads. It's not a lot of leads, but those 200 leads, if your average sale per client is about 30 grand, those 200 leads will turn into $1 million worth of revenue in a year. And then in the second year, you should be able to pick up a second $1 million worth of revenue if you do account-based management. It's a very, very cool strategy. Martha's, we've been helping tutors enroll more students. Are you interested in knowing how these strategies can work for your tutoring firm, I would say, hey, right now, on average, our tutors are recruiting between 5 and 10 students every single month. Would you like to know more about how you can recruit 5 to 10 new students every single month? Yes or no? Right? What is the average number of results that your tutors are getting from the recruitment? Make that offer to the market. That's what I would do with that offer. Yeah. Are there certain industries that you would say from agency work, stay away from agency work because they don't easily result in one call closes? So Rashida, my question to you is, why does it have to be a one call close? What is your methodology? What is your system for a one call close? If you're asking people, so let me just give you a perspective. So Rashida, thank you for asking the question, because this is really good. So if somebody's going to buy something from you for like $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000, right? You can do a one call close without too many hassles. If you're asking somebody to spend $10,000, $12,000, $10,000 to $15,000, you might have to do a little bit of discovery, ask lots of questions. You're going to have to do 3 or 4 phone calls to close that deal, right? If you're asking for somebody to spend $100,000 with you, you're going to have maybe 8 to 12 to 15 phone calls before you close that $100,000 deal, right? There might be, from the time you generate the inquiry to the time you answer all the questions, you might have 15 touch points in phone calls, emails, those sorts of things. So if you think that you're just going to go, hey, I've appeared and I'm the best thing since sliced bread, give me money. You don't know who I am. I've got no relationship with you. We don't know each other personally. You have no idea of my expertise and my knowledge, but I'd like you to give me some cash because I'm really good at what we do. It is highly unlikely that that's going to happen. I know that's being very, I'm being very adversarial in what I've said. I've been contrite, but in the reality of what I've just shared with you, Rashida, it ain't going to happen. You have to have, if it's low cost, yes, you can do a one call close on a low cost deal. If it's a higher level of investment that they have to make consideration, then you're going to have to do this on 2 or 3 phone calls. If it's way higher, 6 figures and above, you're going to have 10 or 15 phone calls to close that deal. Rashid, the issue came from time management. If I'm doing calls myself, having a team of closers who can handle the volume of calls, yes, absolutely. Your deals are more than 3K, you're probably going to need 2 or 3 phone calls for a 3K deal, unless they have been indoctrinated. So let's go the caveat. If you've indoctrinated the customer and they want this service and they're interested in this service, then you can do a one call close. But they have to be indoctrinated. So the indoctrination is that relationship building aspect. Yes, I want this product. I absolutely want to buy this product. It's absolutely essential that we buy this product. Great, tell me how to buy this product. You can do a one call close. But if you're going to go cold to the market and say, let me show you something, and then you're going to expect them to pay $3 grand off no relationship, then you're making a very big ask. Leveraging your time, Rashida, absolutely leverage time. But my question to you, Rashida, is do you have an optimized sales process right now? Because if you don't have an optimized sales process, you're actually going to waste your time hiring salespeople because they're not going to close, right? You must have an optimized sales process. You must know that if you, Rashida, speak to 10 people, that you can close 3 of those 10 people into a deal. If you know that, then you're in it. Then you're in, right? So you're closing 30% on your own. Great. So my question to you again, Rashida, do you have an optimized sales process? Do you have it written down? Have you got your calls recorded? Do you have the scripts? Do you have the process? Have you stepped out from the time I talk to you, from the time you decide to pay me money, to the time that you sign an agreement with me to accept my invoice? Have you mapped that out so that I could literally walk into your business and go, I know how to make a sale. I just have to follow this plan. If you have that, Rashida, then I would say go and hire salespeople. But if you don't have that mapped out in writing, calls recorded so people can hear you close the deal and walk through, then you don't have an optimized sales process, right? But you get to that and you've got a license to print money, Rashida. You've got a license to print money, right? So I'm happy to take another question if you have questions. Hopefully this has been useful. Love to know what you've taken away from this. Any takeaways? Just type in the takeaways. It'd be great to see. What have you learned? I've got a whole bunch of people on this call. It's great to see. We've got a whole bunch of people here. Nice to, a lot of familiar faces. Anything you picked up on what I've just shared? Immediate calls versus book calls, I don't understand. Know the numbers. Yeah, absolutely know your numbers. Before you hire salespeople, you do the numbers, right? If you know your numbers, then you want to break down what that looks like in terms of how you sell what you sell, right? Once you've broken that down and written those processes out, you have a system. You have an optimized sales process that you can create a benchmark on. Then you can know, say, hey, well, if I do it, 1, 3, and 10. So my expectation is that if you follow my process, you should be able to close 3 and 10 like me. And then now we need to improve from 3 and 10 to go to 4 and 10. If that makes sense. Any other takeaways from what I've just shared? George, John, Mark. Takeaways, Rashida. Just revise the offer so it's more relevant. Yes, absolutely. Are you selling to $2,000 to $6,000 tutoring package? That's very relevant. Or you can say, hey, right now my students are selling $2,000 to $6,000 tutoring packages and they're averaging between 2 or 3 of these a week. Right now, do you have a system that's doing that? If you don't, are you interested in seeing a system that can do that for you? Do I have any advice for permission from the prospect before recording sales calls? So you can ask the prospects, hey, for the purpose of us making sure I've got my notes and making sure that it is okay, do you mind if I record this call? You can ask permission. That's okay. I would ask permission. I would say, hey, look, is it okay if we record the call? We just use it for monitoring purposes, testing purposes, and more importantly, we want to make sure that we've got all the detail so we can deliver the outcomes for you. Is that okay? Most people say yes, right? Eric, if you want to grab someone's attention, that I have to grab their attention and multiple modalities. Yeah, if you want to grab their attention, go to multiple modalities. The importance of feedback, absolutely. You want to get feedback on your offers. The 4 email subject lines are gold. Thank you, John. I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah, you want to get feedback. I want to talk to the market and get as much feedback as possible. We don't ask enough questions. The biggest problem most people have in the market is you just don't know your market. And if you don't know your market, that means there are questions that you have unanswered. And the number one thing, especially if you're doing like account-based management or account-based selling, the more you understand, the more knowledge you have, the more intimate you are with the problems and the challenges that people have, the more successful you'll be. I'll give you an example of this. Brian Citron, one of my consulting champions, he works in the chiropractor market. Now, what he has done is he has intimately understood exactly what happens from the time somebody inquires from an ad all the way through to booking an appointment, then what happens inside that appointment, and then what happens after that appointment, right? And then what happens and what needs to happen to make sure that this person either refers a new customer or comes back again and utilizes that service. And so he's mapped out the entire process. Now, how has he done that? He sat down with a chiropractor and sat there and said, you know what? What if we actually map this out so you can automate and you'll never lose the opportunity, you'll get a much better result in conversions. If we can take the time to sit down, let me map this out for you. And so that's what he did. He mapped this out, right? Then when he mapped it out to people, he said, like, we've got a system, great. Let's build the system. Now let's test the system. So the very first chiropractor paid him $5,000 to set that up and now pays him $2,500 a month to manage it. And then he pays him another $2,000 a month for ads management. And then he pays him, gives him another $2,000 for ad spend, right? So $6,000, including the, $2,000 a month plus 4 and 6,000. So $6,000 a month, including 2,000 ad spend, right? Now he has automated the process and it's getting results. So now, you know what he does? And he's closed, every person he's shown this to, he has closed the deal. Every person he showed this idea to has gone, yeah, I want to buy it. So instead of talking about leads and ads, he talks about making sure you manage your show-up rate and making sure that you maximize your conversions into a plan of care for your patients. That's what this does. So can I show you a system that automatically does that for you? It's working right now. It's got 100% show-up rate for people showing up. And it manages every process in the relationship between you and the customer, and it's all on automation. Can I show you that? And all he does is he shows them the map of the functionality. That's it, right? So it's just a bunch of dots, schematic diagram. And he literally just goes, here it is. Let me walk you through. This is system 1, system 2, system 3, right? If you just want to buy system 1, it costs you this much. You want to buy system 2 and system 3 are the most important systems. So 1 works, but 2 and 3 are just steroids. So if you're going to do anything, you need to buy 2 and 3 with 1. Yes, you agree? Yes, we do, right? Great. And if you want the super duper enchilada, you have system 4, right? And so system 4 package bundled up is this. So you got this package, this package, big package. Based on what you've seen, Which one do you want? He goes, I need number 2. Because the very first thing that people say is, I want that system. I want that. That is what we don't have right now. I need that in my practice. We want that system. And the beauty of what Brian has done is it's come directly from the horse's mouth. So when he sits down, in last week, he's closed 3 $5,000 a month deals, 3 in the last couple of weeks. And all he's doing is, look, I don't know if this is of interest to you, but I'll show you something that's working right now. This is what the impact is of what's working. Do you want to have a look at it? As soon as they say yes, and he spends some time on the phone and shows it to them, they all say, I want to buy that thing. I need that thing right there. That's what we need to do. We need to plug that thing in, right? So that's an easy way to sell to the market. So Dana's asking if cold email is not my least relevant. My strategic alliance, number one business generator is strategic alliance. That is the one that generates millions of dollars in sales. Is strategic alliance. That's my favorite one. But there's a lot of time, energy, investment to get that right as well. Because what you're doing is you're working with channel partners. So you got to find you got to find a way to add value to that relationship. But once you got that going, that is a license to print money. Most people aren't patient. Most people don't know how to do it. Most people are unprofessional. They don't know how to approach it. They don't understand how to value it. But the ones that do, they're the ones that are making the biggest money. If I look at the biggest agencies on the planet in our world, they're the ones that have alliance partners that are growing. You know, if I look at, there's a few SEO companies that I know, they're 100% of their business through strategic alliance. They're generating $8–10 million in SEO services, 8 to 10 million a year in SEO services. There's one company, $7 million in SEO for personal injury cases, and all their business comes from a strategic alliance. All of it comes from a strategic alliance. So to me, number one strategy, the money deals, strategic alliance. That's the big money deals. But there's a little bit of time, energy, and effort to make it work, and you want to pick the right partners. But it is a great way to generate consistent, ongoing revenue in your business. Yeah, cold emails is a relationship building skill, right? Cold email is great, and you can get great results. We've got a couple of our champions, Tracy and Simon. They get 75 to 85% open rates on their cold emails, and in fact, they average about 5 to 8 appointments per day off cold email. 5 to 8 appointments per day, and no outbound calling, no outbound, all inbound, just off email. So yeah, you can get it that way. I can give you countless examples of people that I've worked with that make cold email their primary source of generating clients. But my favorite one is strategic alliance. Strategic alliance is always the best. A little bit of work, a little bit of effort and energy to make it work and then maintain those relationships. But it is by far the most profitable and biggest way to make money in any business in the market. Any business that I've owned, I've always looked to strategic alliance partners because that's the fastest way to get growth and scale. That's the fastest way to get growth and scale. So Dono, I hope I've answered that question. Strategic alliances. So if I was in the dental market, I'd be dealing with the software companies and the dental management companies. So the people who already know the market, who've already got relationships, I would say, hey, why don't we plug in marketing and help grow these practices or add value to what you're doing to those markets. I have one of my champions right now who has a strategic alliance partner that part of their sales process is they plug him into his Facebook deal into their process. So when you buy their product, you have to buy his deal. In fact, every customer they introduce him to, they introduce a new client, and then he worked out a deal. So, management people, software people, SaaS who supply, strategic alliance and channel partners. Who's already got your list, and then how do you add value to them, and then how do you add value to the people that they work with, and then work out a deal. You can either you can work out a financial deal. There are many strategic alliance partnerships. If we want to get really technical, and I'm not going to go into it in this call, but if you want to get really technical, I've got alliances that pay me to refer customers to me. They're paying me money as an alliance, right, for the privilege of referring customers to me. That is the perfect strategic alliance. That alliance alone generates about 10 million a year. That one alliance. So yeah, we're now talking advanced and sexy stuff. in terms of what we do. So with that, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for asking questions. I hope this has been useful or given you more insight. Going to be here, same time, same bat channel tomorrow, 4 p.m. PST. We've actually moved this call to a later time. We were on a little earlier. I know some people were trying to get on this call, but we'll be here 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. So thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you on the other calls. Oh, by the way, I just thought I would share this for those of you who are interested. We are running another intensive. One of the things that I have found in the market is websites right now need to be changed, right? So websites need to be changed. So we have a website sales intensive happening on the 18th of June at 9 a.m. PST, and it is a $97 ticket. Okay, if you go to websitesalesintensive.com, if you go to that website, in fact, let me just close that down. If you go to that website, we have a cool software tool called My Web Audit. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to get paid strategy sessions using this tool, and also how to close high 5, high 6-figure website deals. We're going to show you how to walk yourself into a high 5, high 6-figure website deals. So we're doing this intensive. It's happening on the 18th of June, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is a $97 ticket. It is a web event for good. We are raising money for charities for this event as well. If you want to go and check it out, go to websitesalesintensive.com. The doors are open. So in 2.5 weeks' time, we are going to do a really cool intensive using a very cool piece of software that really creates all the presentations, does all the schematics, literally push button stuff. But the demonstration of the value is going to be huge. And so I'm going to be walking people through how they can actually use that to go and get clients, because right now websites need to change, and websites need to be more interactive on a mobile scale, and websites need to be more effective in terms of helping people walk through a sales process. So 85% of websites right now are inefficient and ineffective because of the current circumstances. We're not communicating the right message. But right now, if you go to websitesalesintensive.com, you can go and grab a ticket. We're going to do the training, going to give you the recording, going to give you the slides, and we also are going to be providing resources in that as well. So thank you for being here. Websitesalesintensive.com, 18th of June, 9 a.m. PST, $97. We are raising funds for charity. The money, the $97 is broken up into parts. Part of it is going to helping 3 families get a tap, fresh water tap plumbed into their home. So they have fresh water. So 3 families for every $97. We're going to put 3 taps in 3 people's homes. We're going to pay for the education of 1 child. We are also going to help a village with a bee farming, providing a bee farm so they can provide honey for the village and income streams to the village. So the $97 is going to have a great impact and do lots of good for people who want to sell websites at higher prices, or if you're selling AdWords or Facebook or SEO and people need to fix their sites, then the website salesintensive.com is where you want to go and jump in for that event. With that, I want to thank you for being here. I will see you on the same time, same bat channel tomorrow. Take care, everybody.